Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm going to be making green pozole with chicken. This green pozole is so bright, fresh, comforting, and warming all at the same time. And here's how I do it. To get started, here I have 14 cups of water to my pot. I'm also going to be adding 3 pounds of chicken. I'm using skinless chicken legs and chicken tenders. That's what I had in my fridge. So to sort of give them the same cook time, I sliced my chicken legs down to the bone to sort of expedite the cooking for those. Now I'm going to add 1 large onion that I've halved. I will also be adding 4 cloves of garlic and 2 dried bay leaves into the pot. Next, I'm going to be adding 2 chicken flavored bouillon cubes. You could just add salt and skip the bouillon. I'm also going to add 1 teaspoon of salt and a half teaspoon of cracked black pepper and 1 tablespoon of Mexican oregano. I'm also going to be adding 1 pound of tomatillos. These are not green tomatoes, but if you can't find tomatillos, you can use green tomatoes. I am using 1 pound. I'm going to remove the husk, and then I'm going to rinse them very well because they do come with debris. Once I've rinsed them, I'm going to add them right into my pot. Once my water comes up to a gentle boil, I'm going to continue cooking it for about 35 to 40 minutes or until my chicken is cooked and tender. Okay, so my chicken is done. It has been around 35 minutes on a boil, so I'm going to remove it from my pot. I'm going to shred it and set it aside until I need it again. Now I'm going to strain everything from the pot. I'm going to take it over to my sink. And anything left in the strainer, I'm going to puree this with some other ingredients. This is going to make that green puree that gives this soup the color. I also will discard my bay leaves. So now that I've strained everything, I am left with chicken broth that I will set to the side. So to my blender, I'm going to add a 1/3 cup of toasted pumpkin seeds. I basically toasted them in a dry pan until they got golden brown. Just like this. So now I'm going to add these right into my blender. This adds flavor and body to the broth. I'm also going to be adding roasted poblano peppers. Basically, I took 2 poblano peppers, charred the skins on an open flame. Then I placed them in a glass bowl, covered it with cling wrap, and let them sweat for about 15 minutes. Then I removed all the skin. I removed the stems and all the seeds from the peppers, and I'm left with this clean flesh that I will be adding to the blender. Now I'm going to add a bunch of fresh cilantro and fresh spinach. Basically, I just grabbed what I could with the palm of my hand. It's up to you. And if you don't like cilantro, leave it out and just add extra spinach. Now I'm going to add all of my contents from my strained broth. This is basically the tomatillos, the onion, garlic, and some of that oregano right into the blender. I will also be adding 1 cup of that chicken broth just to make it easier to puree into a smooth blended liquid. So now I'm just going to blend this into a smooth silky puree, and the color is so vibrant and green. It looks so pretty. Once my puree is done, I'm going to add it into a preheated pot to simmer. I'm using a 6-quart pot. Honestly, an 8-quart probably would have been better because it is pushing it a little bit, but you know, just to give you guys a heads up, 8-quart pot will work. So I'm going to simmer this, and to get some of that residual puree from the blender, I'm going to add a couple of ladlefuls of the broth, give it a swish, and add it right into my pot of puree. I'm going to combine this and let it simmer for about 3 to 5 minutes. And once it's done simmering, I'm going to add the rest of that reserved broth. Ultimately, I used 10 cups of chicken broth. So if you don't have time to boil or cook chicken, but you already have shredded chicken, then just use low sodium or store-bought chicken broth, 10 cups. That'll do the trick. So now I'm going to add 3 30-ounce cans of hominy that I've drained and rinsed right into my pot. I'm going to combine that, and I'm going to let this cook and simmer for 20 to 30 minutes. So it has been around 25 minutes or so. I'm going to give this a mix. Now I'm going to add my shredded chicken right into the pot. And once I add my chicken, I'm going to let it continue to simmer for another 10 to 15 minutes, and then it's done. And I'm going to serve a bowl, and I'm going to show you how I serve it. By the way, I failed to mention this earlier, but if you want more spice in your pozole, add a couple of jalapeno peppers into the puree. That'll definitely do the trick. So now I'm going to add some freshly squeezed lime, some chopped onion, some shredded cabbage, and some cherry radishes. And I'm going to dig in. It smells so good. I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching.